Photography is a part of your life, and when was the moment in which you understood your passion of photography?
I was 19 years old. How old are you?
18, 17,
18.
18.
Okay, so I was about the same age.
Okay.
And I was in Venezuela to study Spanish. And I had three big interests in my life. I always liked to be creative, to make drawings and listen to music. But I was not good at drawing or listen to music, but I always liked being creative. And I always been very engaged and interested in society and politics and social awareness, what was happening around in the world. So creativity, the social awareness, and then I always been, because I grew up in the countryside of Denmark, where it's in a city much smaller than Lodi, a really, really small and boring city. So I always wanted to go out and explore the world. I've always been very curious. So creativity, social awareness, and curiosity, that was kind of that was my main interest. And I never thought about what should I do, what kind of profession. But then in Venezuela, I was walking around with an old camera, and I suddenly realized, wow, with this camera, I can combine my three interests. And from back then, that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was almost an enlightenment. That was how I felt.
And what are your feelings when you take photos? In general.
I would say in general, my feelings are as much as possible. So I try to feel as much as possible, and sometimes it's a sad situation and I feel very sad. Sometimes it's very happy and I feel very happy. Sometimes it's confusing and I feel confused. So whatever I'm photographing, their mood, that's how I feel.
What is the journey that you have done that you have enjoyed the most?
Journey that I enjoyed the most, I don't know. I don't. It's so many levels, Some is an enjoyment for my head, because this is, wow, it's just a whole new world opening for me. Some has been enjoyment because it really can make a difference with the pictures. And sometimes, but the Amazon is probably the one is the strongest memory for me, yeah.
Okay. Can you comment this phrase? To the Amazon I admire for and fear and fear for.
I from the moment I stepped into the Amazon for the first time, I felt like I was in a temple. I was in a place much bigger than me, and I really admire this beautiful, beautiful place. It really gives me the creeps. So it's so beautiful, it's so strong, and it speaks to something inside of me. So I always had a big admiration for it. But I also fear that we are destroying it. I fear that, you're cutting down the forest, people burn the forest, and I fear that we are destroying nature. But I also have a fear when I go in the Amazon, I always fear that it will eat me, that the insects will kill me, or the snakes or whatever. So it's many feelings, I admire it, and I fear that we will destroy it, and I also fear that it will somehow eat me.
Okay. And okay, why have you decided to choose this area of South America, and what are the main points that are most important for you of this area?
First of all, I don't think I chose it. I think it chose me. Because I didn't prepare to fall in love with the Amazon, but I was there and it just, it just took me. So, and as a photographer, I think what you should do is just respond to that. It's like, you cannot, it's with love, you cannot try to force it, it just comes to you. So that was how it began.
Okay. And what's a message that you would like to give people about your exhibit?
That I think will take if I had a 1-point message I would pass on, why should I bother to travel around and take pictures? I could just write it on the wall. That would be much easier. much cheaper.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so my pictures is my message, and it's a message in many directions, and I don't give you a conclusion, but that is my message.
Okay. Thank you.
So you will not get any one-liner from me.
What's that?
You will not get any like advertisement or one-liner, one sentence
Okay.
from me.
Okay.
The pictures is the message. Yeah.
Okay. And you are young and you have been lucky to do this job at your age. Have you got something to tell us, a young generation, about photojournalism?
I think you should photograph whatever is important for you, and photograph it in a way that you think is most interesting for you. So don't think about photographing for another people. Think about photographing for you and the people who are important for you. Yeah, and photograph the whatever is interesting for you.
Okay, thank you.
That's the best. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you so much.